To our new broadcast, our new webcast today, Managing International Data Centers from One Location. The host today, again, is going to be Matt Rechenburg, our founder and senior technical advisor for openQRM Enterprise. I'm just going to go quickly take you into the agenda of what we're going to go into, what we're going to have a look at. Bear with me for a second. Here we go. It's a short agenda. The webinar should be over in about half an hour, and as usual, we'd be very happy to invite you to a private session where we can be a bit more use case specific. The agenda today, what is to be considered with international data centers? We're going to look at cloud zones from openQRM Enterprise, a quick look at our architecture, and of course the most important part, the actual live demo, so you see how to handle the management of the different locations. I'm going to hand over to Matt Rechenburg now to continue for you. Thanks a lot.
Hello everybody, and welcome to this webinar about multiple data centers in international data centers in multiple locations. And we are in a time now where public cloud is all aware, and many companies are also shifting to private cloud. And so bigger companies have multiple locations in several different countries, and how to get this all together as a system administrator team to manage different virtual machine types, different physical deployment in multiple data center locations. Starting now. A serious point of interest, important thing is that we have a single point of management, so there should be no additional application needed to be installed for accessing the administration part and also the end user part if we are coming to automatic provisioning via cloud deployment. Therefore, we have made a layer on top of our existing private cloud infrastructure, which is an automation layer on our existing data center infrastructure product, to enable a kind of zoning and permission mapping for mapping your existing company topology exactly to your IT administration or IT hardware and software resource pools. So therefore we built openQRM Enterprise Cloud Zone as an additional layer on top of openQRM Cloud, and it's comparable to the high availability zones, what you maybe know from Amazon, for example. In general, our main object for this automatic deployment and the whole framework openQRM, which is focused on fully automation for every kind of IT services and any kind of aspect of your IT, is to reduce manpower and to make system administrators more efficient. So in general, of course, another big topic when we talk about multiple data center in different locations, and also like integration with public and private cloud computing, which is called hybrid cloud computing. Therefore, we should take a serious look at the security and the permission environment and the safeness of your existing infrastructures. So we have built this openQRM Cloud Zones exactly for this focus on managing your complete IT in multiple location. That's one part consists of a fully automated user provisioning, end user provisioning with via a private cloud, which can be a sub-cloud of any of a public cloud, or which can be a pure private cloud on your own data center resources, which means you're running your own hypervisor service from any type of virtualization, and openQRM manages this and provides this as end user service where your resources and storage and network objects in openQRM actually becoming cloud products which you can charge for. And of course, openQRM Cloud and Cloud Zones also includes a central billing mechanism which you can easily map to your existing billing systems, for example, SAP or something. So the architecture of this is based on that each data center can consist of one or more zones. So zones, cloud zones, is actually a logical unit, logical mapping of your resources across user groups, across multiple locations. It's a layer on top of your existing cloud infrastructure that I said already. And one main thing is, since openQRM is not limited to pure virtual machine deployment, but can also fully supports like bare metal deployment for with different deployment types, like an automatic installation or a disk cloning. The openQRM cloud interface can also be used, or should also be used in this case, for the administrative part of your existing, of your IT infrastructure, so that your system administrator group just becomes another cloud user group, which has the power to automatically provisioning bare metal systems with, for example, with storage or with new hypervisors for your existing local resources. So, for example, and a good example is our VMware support that we just enhanced with bare metal bulk deployment or mass deployment for ASX, for VMware ASX. So actually, this can be is a good use case for putting it into a cloud zone and letting administrators provision your bare metal systems with ESX as hypervisors fully automatically, in the same way as end users would then request virtual machine from the new created ESX host in your infrastructure. So it's about automatically deploying new hardware. It's about expanding existing resource pools and creating new zones across mapping to your topology. Yeah, we're just checking the screen share again. Just a moment. Stay with us.
Just a quick check here.
Okay, I hope you can see the presentation now, and actually finish with this slide and going to the next one. So this is actually the picture diagram of how openQRM Enterprise Cloud Zone sits as an additional layer on top of your private cloud infrastructure, and this sits on top of your data centers, which can be in multiple locations, of course. So the main benefit of this is that you get a standardized administration across your multiple data centers. So system administrator teams can fluently and transparent manage the. Stop. I'm sorry.
Sorry, for some reason it seems that we're not sharing the screen, which it should actually be doing. Now it's okay.
Okay, but this is
it's smaller. Use
okay.
That. For some reason, it's not taking it.
Okay, so maybe I go quickly over the slides again, but you already heard me telling me about lots of it. Single point of management, I said that openQRM Enterprise Cloud Zones as layer on top of it to reduce manpower and to provide secure, standardized deployment across multiple clouds. The third slide is how we actually implement the infrastructure, and this is the most interesting picture where you can see how this is all working on as from top of the to the bottom. So it's about partitioning your data centers locations and map your existing company topology into your IT. Okay. What you can do, for example, is each user group you create can have dedicated access to specified hypervisors, hosts. So you can, for example, make a development group which has access to 30 or 40 machines, and the QA group got another 50 machines, and they will affect each other, while the automatic deployment will automatically decide where to deploy the virtual machines for the different user groups. So each user get a detailed overview about where the systems are running and how the data is being stored on which part of the country, for example, and automatically included is an automatic billing system which works with secure transactions. So even if your central cloud zone server, which provides the central access for the different zones for the end users and also for the administrators, as I said, even if this is down, the billing information will be kept in each zone locally, so they will be able to be replayed when the main cloud zone server should be is available again. Anyway, we of course support a high availability setup for any point of the openQRM installations, also for the cloud zones problem. Okay. In general, if you're not so much into openQRM, I will present you another short diagram which shows the actually data center infrastructure managed by openQRM for the local system administrator teams, or for the administrator who builds up the whole infrastructure. It always consists of an openQRM server which managed through a partition bridge and a storage abstraction layer, different kind of technologies like physical system deployment, VMware ASIC bulk deployment. It manages virtual machine on Citrix Xen, on the regular Xen open source virtualization technology. We just integrated Docker for collaboration server, so this is also available as a cloud product, so people can actually work and collaborate together on their own Docker host running on a virtual machine requested by a private cloud zone in your data center. KVM is, of course, well supported too as a virtualization layer. On the storage side, we are basically fully open. We have native integration for several open source and also commercial storage technologies. So any type of storage technology what you prefer is, of course, well supported by openQRM automatically. And now we are coming to the most important part of this webinar. I'm going to give you a live presentation of these 3 layers of openQRM. Once the fully administrative part, where any type of resources are managed in your local data center, the openQRM Cloud and openQRM Cloud Zones on top of it to widen your management across multiple data centers, across multiple locations. This is going to be the live demonstration now. I'm switching the screen now to the browser window, just a moment. Okay, I think you can see this now. Okay, this is the main dashboard of one of the local data centers for this webinar demonstration. And you get a quick overview about what's running here, or how the data center is working in general. We have different server types and storage pools available here. And when you go further down, we have the list of servers provisioned already, or the inactive servers and the active servers. There are already a few. So this is what you can do with this whole administration UI, is to manage all your storage types, all your virtualization hosts in a manual way, as you're used for like a virtualization or storage manager, but with an abstraction that we have a standardized workflow for creating virtual machines and storage objects and server objects. So independent from which technology you are using, the workflow to create and manage a server will be always the same. So going further up now in the diagram, we have the openQRM Cloud, which is another plugin in the openQRM infrastructure with separated user administration. So we have here 2 users created for now. This can be separated in different user groups, which we call projects. There is a request overview, which means these are the current active virtual machine requests coming in from users of this private cloud. And we can go further down, but I don't want to explain too much about this, how this is going to be set up. But it's of course available as a web service also, so this can be fully automated. And exactly this web service we have used to implement cloud zones, which is the next layer on top of this private cloud. And before I step into cloud zones now, I will show you the private cloud local interface for this data center. This is going to be here. And this is the home dashboard for the cloud end users, which shows the permission diagram and limitations, and also what's currently running. So we have from our 10 instances, which we are limited to in this account, we have 1 active, so we still can create some more stuff. Creating a new instance is way easy. These are the existing instances. So there are also management capabilities for the users, so they can SSH through their web browser. They can access the no VNC console, for example, if it's a Windows machine. And we also have like statistics running if you have enabled statistics plugin in openQRM, which shows you exactly what which provides for the end user the capability to see what the system has been done in the history. To create a new instance, this is the cloud form where we also can pick assigned IP addresses which are assigned to our user group. And we can then manage and administrate most of the things in the same way an administrator would do in the administrative part of openQRM, but fully on our own. And the responsibility for the system is there's a lot of responsibility going over to the end users then. Okay, but before we provision here, actually, I would like to show you the next layer on top of it, which works as the availability zones for openQRM private cloud. This is configured further down in cloud zones. So this is the zones manager. So each data center providing a private cloud infrastructure with openQRM can be splitted logically into different zones, where each zone can be set to have different permissions on your local resources and hardware. And with zones configuration, like the cloud user groups, actually you can set which user group has access to which of the different cloud zones. So we have 3 cloud zones available: my home, development, and administrative admin. And those are enabled, so you can also easily disable a zone if you have maintenance there. So, and each zone is provided to the end user. This is the Cloud Zones portal for the end users, and this uses the web service provided by your private cloud infrastructure to access the different zones configured in this setup. So here you see the different small cloud zones circling around the current active zone, which is the admin zone. And to switch, for example, to development, users can easily just click the small icons and switch to the development zone, or switch to the home zone. And for each zone, as I said, they have permissions to access certain specified hardware. So, for example, if we want to deploy in the administrative group, we just create a new request here. Okay. This works also with templates. That means there are pre-configured templates like medium, small, and big, where users can easily with a single click configure and provision their servers. There's a more detailed overview about what we are going to request from our administrative cloud zones group. It should be Debian 8, as a KVM machine with default operating system with some memory. I don't make it too big now. One thing, since this is not this is not limited to virtual machines in any way. So we can also provision physical machines with exactly the same interface for end users and also for administrators. And high availability in openQRM is built-in thing which can be made a cloud product by just enabling it. So since openQRM can manage all the aspects of your different physical and virtual machine provisioning, it can also provide the high availability for each of those aspects very easy. So in our case, high availability is built in and just comes as an additional cloud product, which can be enabled by a single click. Okay, so we are going to let the rest this. I don't need a second network up now, sorry. And we submit this. And actually, the request of this system is going to the private cloud infrastructure on top of your data center via the web service. This is made SSL encrypted and secured by default. And the private cloud infrastructure, depending on which zone we are currently requesting something, is going to automatically provision the system now and provide us with access information, how to use the system via a mail as soon as it's provisioned. So we can see it's currently starting up. It will take a few minutes, 1 or 2 minutes to actually get active, and I will also show you an example mail of how you would access the system then. And to show you a bit around, this is the request, basically what's active and what's currently being in status to be provisioned. This is the system overview. Just a moment. So it's currently we have one system and the other is still starting. And there are also account informations, and these are the permissions basically for this zone, for these users. One thing, there's the CCUs, which is the virtual currency which we built into the openQRM cloud, which can be mapped into different real currencies like US dollar or euro. And this works like a prepaid mechanism, like a prepaid phone card, basically. So openQRM will automatically charge when the system is going to be deployed for the cloud products the user selected for the provisioning, and so this billing informations are available in the transactions. Just a moment. This is, for example, one of the billing informations that I'm going to be charged 17 CCUs for different cloud products I selected, plus the high availability, which you see here. And very soon, I will going to switch now to the mail which is going to be sent. Just a moment. Just a second. Just a moment. Okay. This is an example mail, so these details are not going to be active anymore. Anyway, this is an example mail which we send out by the openQRM cloud automatically to the user when the system is going to be ready provisioned, and the user gets the password and login informations. Plus, if you have enabled the VNC access directly to the virtual machine console, if it's a virtual machine. Okay, switching back to our openQRM infrastructure. Which I guess I have closed now, I'm not sure why. Yes. Just a moment. Okay. Let's see, cloud zones, portal. Okay, and here we go. This is basically the second system we have just provisioned in the administrator group. You can see, I have to show you this, inside the zones mechanism, you can enable an automatic naming convention for your cloud systems. So you can basically know from the host name where exactly the system is and who has requested it. So the system will be now available for provisioning, for usage for me basically, and I can also show you this with shortly logging into this. Just a moment. I'm going to switch over again. This shell console on one of our servers, and the IP address would be just a second. You see, we are logged into the host name. Actually, I'm logging in from the openQRM server, and due to Ansible enabled, there's no password set for this host. So this will be the machine actually provisioned automatically by openQRM Cloud Zones in one of the zones we have configured for this webinar. Okay, let's see. So basically, this is going to be, this was the functionality we would like to show you today. And many thanks for joining this webinar. You're openQRM Enterprise company. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.